Tiana Reynolds walked into Jefferson High with her head held high and her braids swaying confidently. Each strand was adorned with beads honoring her African heritage, golden shells, cowries, and tiny symbols passed down from her grandmother. It was picture day, and her mother had spent hours the night before twisting them in with love and pride. But Mr. Canning, the school's principal, saw none of that. "Those things in your hair are a distraction," he said coldly, blocking her from entering the photography line. Tiana blinked, stunned. "Sir, they're just braids. I wear them all the time." "Not anymore. You're violating the dress code. You're suspended for 3 days. Call your mother." Tiana's classmates stood in shocked silence as she was escorted to the front office. Her mother, Dr. Ayanna Reynolds, arrived minutes later, fuming but composed. "I'd like to see the specific policy stating that braids are forbidden," she said firmly. Mr. Canning smirked. "The policy states that excessive or culturally distracting hairstyles are not permitted." "So, culturally distracting is the problem? It's been our standard for years." "Then your standard is discriminatory." Ayanna didn't argue further. Instead, she turned on her heel, guiding her daughter gently out the door. 1 week later, a school board meeting was called. Parents gathered in droves. Teachers sat quietly in the back. Mr. Canning, as usual, sat at the front, arms folded confidently, until Dr. Reynolds entered the room. The whispers began almost instantly. "That's her. She's the mother of that student. Isn't she on the board?" Canning's eyes narrowed. Ayanna took the floor, not as a parent, but as a newly appointed vice chair of the district's school board, a position she'd earned through years of service and advocacy, one Mr. Canning had clearly overlooked. She cleared her throat and addressed the room. "Last week, my daughter was suspended for wearing braids, an expression of cultural identity that predates this nation. The principal cited distraction as justification, rooted in a vague and racially coded dress code." She turned toward Mr. Canning. "I'm here today not just as a mother, but as your superior, Mr. Canning." He sat bolt upright. "I have reviewed your handling of not just this incident, but similar complaints from other students over the past 3 years. I've uncovered a disturbing pattern of biased enforcement, particularly against Black and brown students." Gasps echoed through the room. One board member murmured, "I didn't even know she was on the board." "I move for immediate suspension of Mr. Canning pending investigation," Ayanna declared, "and a full review of the Jefferson High dress code, which currently allows staff to penalize culture under the guise of order." The vote was unanimous. Mr. Canning's face was pale as security escorted him from the chamber. In the weeks that followed, Jefferson High became the focus of national attention. Students began wearing their cultural hairstyles proudly: braids, locks, wraps, and curls. The school district hosted open forums with parents and students of color, revising its entire grooming policy with community input. Tiana returned to school with her head higher than ever, her braids even more intricate than before. This time, teachers complimented them. Even the new interim principal paused and said warmly, "Your hair is beautiful." Tiana smiled. "Thank you. It tells my story." A journalist later asked Dr. Reynolds why she didn't simply shout back at the principal that day. She replied, "I didn't need to shout. I had the truth and the title."